Hey guys, and welcome to today's first impressions video. Today we're looking at Lawn Mowing Simulator, which is pretty self-explanatory. You start your own lawn mowing career, buy different vehicles, upgrade them, and go out and do jobs. Actually pretty therapeutic and a very good game. However, I do have some issues. First off though, we're going to look at the options and see what this game has to offer us. Honestly, in the way of options, not a huge amount. You don't get that many options or calibrations that I was expecting with most of these sort of sim games. There's no units, there's no, literage or changing the unit measurements for what you're going to be going out. You can't change it from miles per hour to kilometers for the lawnmower. You can't change it to liters or gallons for the fuel. You can't change it to centimeters or inches, like things that I would honestly expect you to have in a sim game, that they're not really there yet. Also, in the way of graphics, the options are kind of woeful. Now, I've actually had to knock it down to high, and even so, in some of the areas, I still get a bit laggy, so it needs some optimization. But honestly, give me more, man. Like, just having a preset VSync, motion blur, and screen res is not enough for a game that looks this good. I would expect more from a game caliber of this. And the other thing is game audio. And I'll go into more detail with the game audio when we're in the game. But what I will say is it's very, very loud. If you're wearing headphones, turn it down. For your own ear safety, I would say turn it down. And again, there's some other bits and pieces that I'm going to be talking about when we get into the game that I feel were sort of overlooked to really help the immersion, but there is time for the game to make those changes even before release. I'd expect some of the changes to have to come with maybe DLC if they implement them, but yeah, that's basically the options menu. It's not bad, it's not amazing. Now, what is cool is you've got 3 different modes. You've got your career mode, you've got challenge mode, which I think is pretty cool. You get to unlock, I'm assuming, achievements by doing these challenges, which is kind of cool. And then you've just got free mode, where you can just go through and just mow until your heart's content. We're going to look at the career mode. We've got Azraels mowers here. I've got no employees, just myself. We've successfully done 1 contract, and we've got a garage of 1. I'm going to go in. So when you jump in, you start in your garage. It shows you the lawnmower of choice. It shows you your condition, and you can click on it, and you can buy attachments when they become available. You can do maintenance on your vehicle. It is advisable to do this after each round. You can also check the statistics of your vehicle. It can show you how long it's taken you to do each drive or each mow, each cut, the amount of area that you've cut, maintenance costs, etc. It's all in pounds, so it's all British, which is pretty detailed and pretty good. And I must say, the models, again, another sort of quip. Obviously, as you all know, I play a lot of Euro Truck Simulator. When you are in this sort of mode, you can actually spin the trucks around. You can't in this, and that is a shame, because outside of when you're driving it, you don't really get a very good look at it. And the models are really very accurate and very nice, and I would like to have a proper close. Oh, you can. Oh, look, we're learning things. So the only way you can spin it is by spinning your mouse wheel. That's interesting. So you can spin it around. Disregard everything I've just said. Yeah, so you can spin it around and you can have a look, which is nice. You can't zoom, but you can spin it around. So I stand corrected mid-recording. But yeah, so the models are very, very pretty. The lighting in this game is very good as well, especially in this area. It's kind of cool. You do have a number of different trucks and lawnmowers that you can get with different attachments on them and stuff, which seems kind of cool. I don't know how you unlock them, whether it's just a case of going through and unlocking them as you progress through the career mode. I'm assuming that's what you do. Also, the game has this really weird sort of scroll mechanic, which is just you take your mouse to the end of the screen and it scrolls through them all, which is fine until it's not. Because the scroll is quite fast, you can have a bit of trouble actually getting on the thing you want. Now, it is worth mentioning at this point that you do have controller support and you can just scroll through it with your left analog stick if you are using a controller and or a wheel. I'm assuming this has got wheel support, but I don't know for sure because I don't own a wheel. Outside of that though, very, very robust amount of vehicles that you get to look at and that you can try later on. Very, very impressive. Then you've also got the contract screen. Now, this leads me to one of the points I want to make about the game that I feel is a little bit overlooked. What I mean by that is you literally just get your mower and you start in the trailer and you've got to drive from the trailer to the garden. That bit's fine. However, this map is quite extensive. Now, I'm not saying that they've got the resources or anything like that that they can, you know, make a full map. But maybe in future, it would be nice to see if you could buy maybe like a truck that you can pull your trailer on, or a van, and you drive to the locations as opposed to just being sort of teleported there. It would be nice to see this world open up and see if you can maybe, I don't know, go door to door and try and advertise your business and sort of like grow it out and a bit more, again, just a bit more immersion. It would be nice. Or at least just do the contract thing from here and then drive to your location and park up properly and then get out of your van or your truck and get into your lawnmower and do it that way. I feel like that would be a bit better. Again, understand probably why they haven't done that. Hopefully it'll come later on as like a DLC pack to be able to do it. Maybe, I don't know. But it would be something I'd like to see. However, we're going to jump in and we're going to show you what this game's all about. Now, I would say it is probably quite important if you do have a wheel or a controller to use that. You can use a keyboard and mouse to control with it, and I'm sure it works very well, but obviously just with how sensitive the steering is on these things, using a controller, I would personally advise it. Just a me thing. Now, the other cool thing is you do actually get to design yourself. You do get to make a little model of yourself when you start the game. And you do get to see that model as a third-person view if you do that on the mower. So you can see yourself and see your uniform that you've done and everything. So you basically assign the employee and the vehicle that you want to use and confirm the contract. And then you just straight up start, which is kind of cool. Now, loading times aren't amazing. They're not bad. And it is worth noting that when I first started this up, it actually crashed on me. So be aware that sometimes loading can be a problem for this game. Again, I feel that's an optimization issue with the fact that the system I'm running should be having no issues and it's sort of lagging. Again, maybe some more options would help with that. Are we loading in? We're loading in. So this is your garden. Now, another thing that's a little bit jarring is the grass. The grass is a little bit, it hurts your eyes after a while. It's very good. It's very high fidelity and it's kind of awesome with the way they've done it, but it does hurt your eyes after a while. And as you can see, even with this cutscene, it's not smooth. It's not 100% seamless, and it could very, very well be. Now, information that's important. You've got your cutting time limit and you've got your grind check limit. And that's kind of cool. So, you get 4 minutes to run around and check for items that could damage your lawnmower or cause you problems whilst you're mowing. And some of them can be quite difficult to find, but when you do find them, it does come up with a big pop-up that says that you can basically, you know, pick it up, which is nice. I'm completely behind that. And I like the fact that there's constant tool tips as well. And it does tell you how many items you've got to find. And I can imagine that with the areas getting larger and, you know, more complex, that some of these items could be very, very difficult to find indeed. like this fourth one that I'm looking for right now, that apparently wants to stay hidden from me. So you run around and you find all the items. There it is. Found it. And then you've got to get in your lawnmower and do the lawnmower thing. Now, what would be nice is if you had maybe a sprint stamina bar. So since you've only got 4 minutes, you got to plan the amount of time you spend sprinting, because if you run out of breath and can't get back, then your time runs out, etc. It would be kind of nice. And again, with what I say, right, they've clearly got some of the map done. You know, they've got assets, they've clearly got models for cars and stuff that drive by. It would be really, really nice if you had to drive your truck or van to the location to get into your lawnmower. Just a thing. Now, starting the lawnmower is a bit finicky because it says hold X to start the engine, and I've had to do it twice or 2 or 3 times in order to actually get it done. And like I say, this is my dude with the logo on the front and the back. I think it looks pretty cool. What I mean by the audio as well, this is something that I feel like I can talk about now. When you change to different perception, right, when you get in the truck or the lawnmower, you're wearing earmuffs, and it would be nice if the game recognized that. Again, taking ETS as a perfect example, when you sit in the cab of your lorry, it muffles the sound, but if you open the window to the left or the right of you, depending on which side you're driving on, you can then hear the wind as you go by. You hear more of the engine sounds. Like it's more immersive because it has that, whereas with this it doesn't. When you set the lawnmower to go, oh you know it, you 100% know it. It is very, very loud, which is why I've actually turned it down. Now, this is it. This is what you do. You get in your little lawnmower and you've got to cut the grass. You've got a time limit to do it in, and you've got a number of things to watch out for. So you've got to not damage anything. You've got to not damage the plants. You have to keep an eye on your rev meter as well. As you can see, there's a red arrow on it, and if that red arrow gets hit, then you can start doing damage to your engine. The other thing you got to look out for is concrete. If you run your blades over the concrete, you can actually damage them. So you've got to be very careful because, you know, lawnmowers are quite delicate pieces of equipment. And then you just go through and you cut the grass. And once you've cut the grass and your progress bar is complete, you've got to take your lawnmower back to the trailer, load it on, and job complete, you get paid. It's a very good simulator. I know I've been ragging on some very subjective things, but it is a very, very good simulator. It looks incredible. It runs very well. I would just like to see a few different things added to it to make it just a bit more. But other than that, mechanically it works well. It runs very well with the controller. You can run it with keyboard and mouse as well. It's seamless when you switch between the two. A little bit more optimization would be advantageous. But other than that, I am very, very impressed by this game. I actually did a full lawn before I started recording, which was a full 16-minute lawn that I had to do. And it was very relaxing, and I didn't realise that it had been 16 minutes other than for the fact that I was watching the time. It didn't feel like 16 minutes. It was very relaxing. It's the very same sort of tone that you get with Farming Sim and ETS2. It's a very good simulation, and props to the guys for doing it. So there you are. That is my review. A very good sim, a huge amount of potential. I would love to see more. I think that's the thing that lets it down, is that they kind of went in a bit tenuous. I think they dipped the toe in and didn't really go full hog. Like there could be so much more that you do with this. I'm very excited to see the different maps and the different lawns that you have to cut. But yeah, there it is, guys. That is my review. My first impressions of this very, very good lawn simulation game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if these sort of simulators are for you, if they are your sort of game, or if you find them a little bit dull and don't understand why people play them. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video as well, and subscribe if you haven't. We are fast tracking our way to 700 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic and very, very humbling. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.